Here we go. All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys, to the NFT CHAMPS Podcast. I'm your host, Kristian Vasquez, a.k.a. K-Smooth. Some of you guys may know me as Smooth. But I'm here today with my guest, Jack Davidson, once again, the super knowledgeable artist in the NFT space. We're here today to give you some gems, drop some jewels on how to find NFTs, how not to get scammed, and all the little bits and pieces that go in between. So, Jack, how you doing today, my brother?
Good, man. I've been busy all week getting ready. I'm leaving for California March 1st, and today's what, the 27th or something like that? I leave Tuesday.
27th. Yep.
And I booked this trip without really it was like a manic book. Like, I was excited to go, and then I realized how much shit I had to close in 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God, dude. But I gotta mention, you just said, what did you say? Drop the jewels?
Dropping jewels, dropping gems.
I love that. That should be the hashtag for this. Dropping gems, dropping jewels. That's so catchy. I love that. Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good.
We're gonna drop some gems on these people, man. It's important. But yeah, Jack's leaving in a couple days to Cali, man, and you got a lot of big things going on. So
got a lot of stuff going on over there. Can't really say too much right now, but that we got a lot of stuff cooking over there, and I got family over there and stuff, so it'll be a nice little just break. It's cold here in New York, dude. It's 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, you need that warmth. You need to warm up those bones.
Yeah.
And energize for the new season.
Yeah, I also find as an artist sometimes shocking your environment like that, it really can it creates such a creativity surge sometimes when you just uproot yourself and
sure.
And it's just, I'm excited to see what I pump out when I'm there, you know what I mean? I don't even know where my creative brain's gonna go until I get there, so I'm really stoked. Normally it starts when I'm at the airport,
right?
When I start trying to create, I'm oh, okay, I start building this story in my head, and then I create from there. So there's gonna be some fun stuff.
That's dope. I look forward to seeing what you create, man, because I know you be coming up with some wild stuff.
Yeah, dude, all the time.
And I've been listening to his AMAs on Twitter with his Badfroot gang and with Jeff and Oppie and all his boys.
Yeah.
And super entertaining, man. They're great. So guys, check those out if you haven't already. But let's get into this, man. I'm super excited to drop some jewels for everybody. How to find NFTs. Now, I was explaining to Jack my philosophy behind how I find NFTs, and he kind of said, well, I have a different approach. And I said, all right, perfect. So we could, give them both of our approaches, and they can kind of take from both.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. There's no right answer. What there is there's do's and don'ts. Yeah. And I think that's what it basically boils down to, is that there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong. No, there is right or wrong projects, but I mean, there's there's just a method to the madness here. There's just certain shit that you have to do to just to survive. Survival. It's not even succeeding. It's survival.
Yeah.
And something that is very prominent is everybody gets fucking scammed, dude. It sucks. And what hurt
all the new people.
All the new people.
Because if you've been in this space, there's a slim chance you're gonna get scammed because you kind of went through.
Right. You got hazed in a little bit. I've bought in so many projects that get rugged right after. I don't really buy projects anymore. Right. Well, because my portfolio is, I don't need to.
Right.
I will every once in a blue moon.
If you like the art.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's actually that's great, because that is the number one rule about if you like it, buy it. If that's what we're ultimately here for, is everybody wants to make money, but at the end of the day, as an artist, if you like the art, collect it. If it resonates with you and it's only a couple bucks, get it. Who cares if it goes up or down? It's just cool to have. Right. It's just collection. If it feels good on the dopamine in your brain when you look at it, go for it.
Right. Absolutely. If you're a collector, yeah.
Absolutely.
Collect.
If you're a collector, if you're not looking to invest or flip, or you're just looking to get your feet wet, start with buy stuff you like that's affordable, that
Right.
But
my advice is, if you guys are gonna get into collecting NFTs, I like to get them in on the mint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Huge.
So let's explain the mint. The mint is when a project launches for the first initial time. Okay. Because if you see it on OpenSea, you see a project or collectibles on OpenSea, normally that's the secondary market.
The secondary market, yeah. And it's so that's what we've mentioned before in previous episodes, that OpenSea is like the vessel. So it's like Rarible Foundation, like all these platforms. Like it's not, OpenSea is like the conduit for other smart contracts. That like a lot of projects create a smart contract that's like the coding and the whatever behind the generations, and like just says where things go and gives you the ownership. And you know, that's Jeff stuff. I don't really know too much about it. But when you mint on your own smart contract, it's like nobody can ever take that from you, and it's just kind of like OpenSea is the conduit. So like off that smart contract, when you mint off of their smart contract, let's use the apes for example.
Okay.
So the apes minted, I think it was last May, for 0.08 is what they minted at. So 0.08, then May last year is probably $200, something like that. It costs like $200.
It fluctuates.
It fluctuates, you know, according
the Ethereum. So what we're saying is 0.08 in Ethereum crypto.
Right. That's the yeah.
That's how you mint these NFTs. You mint them with Ethereum most of the time. There's other cryptos that people use like Polygon, and so forth.
Solana. They all offer different, you know, things on the blockchain. But with the apes, they minted at 0.08. So
and that could be in cash value. It depends on what the price is for Ethereum at the
right.
time. So.
And that's another tip that actually a lot of crypto people in this space, like what we say is like, it doesn't matter what the US dollar value is because 1 ETH will always equal 1 ETH. Right. And it's like, don't drive yourself nuts looking at the dollar value. Look at the ETH value, because also it's like, for example, the Bored Ape, the mint price, which is a mint, I guess we can compare it to like retail, right? Like retail pricing. That's a good analogy, right? Yeah. Like that it's like what you would buy a pair of, you know, Converse at the store at. Like
actually, no, I would say wholesale.
Wholesale, you think?
Yeah, because after you buy it at wholesale, then it goes to retail.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that would be the
wholesale price.
The secondary would kind of be the retail. That's what the market dictates the price. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's absolutely correct. So when you mint at that price, that's the price that like the developers and the artists and like the team behind the project is saying like, look, you can buy this now at this price. And like normally like projects will sell out. Everybody gets it at that price. And then unfortunately you missed out on that good price. Yeah. And then the secondary is dictated. So that's why Kristian says it's very imperative to get at mint. And it is. Yeah. And then how do you get to mint, right? Right. It's a fucking bloodbath. Now there's like white lists, like you got to do this in Discord, you got to do that in Discord. It's like really intense.
It could take over your life.
Literally. Oh my God. If you want to be on the hottest projects, it will take over your life. It's 40 hours a week. Like you got to...
I have my son on it now.
Yeah, he's grinding for
you. I was like, do me a favor, get on these white lists.
Yeah.
So now he's in there. He's even messaging them direct, like, please, it's my first NFT.
Yeah.
So we're doing different things to try to get on these white lists. But yeah, all right. So let's so the minting aspect.
And so what I wanted to finish with that is another imperative rule of getting started here in NFTs is DYOR, and we have gone over this before. But everything you finish in a tweet and in anything and in whatever, if you're gonna share advice, follow it with a DYOR, because that is what it's up to. You have to do your own fucking research. You have to so for example, how do you know what project to mint? How do you even know where to mint it? Do you know if it's good? Right. Is it worthy to even mint? Or are you just giving some asshole dev team millions of dollars and they're going to fucking rug you? Right. So that's why doing your own research is imperative. And I feel like that can lead us into everything, right? Yes. Like it's all stems from doing your fucking homework with everything, not just NFTs. Don't run head first into anything. You have to do your homework.
Critical thinking is important. Yes. A lot of people today do not have critical thinking. They don't do critical thinking. Like they just
common sense. You FOMO. You FOMO in, which is we have a lot of words like that. FOMO is fear of missing out. So what happens is like the community will be like, this guy's texted me like 10 times, like, dude, I feel like I should. I'm like, no, don't fall for the FOMO, because it creates this false sense. It doesn't make you think rationally, and then you spend money, and then I do it. I've done it. Everyone does it. You'll do it.
I'm not doing it no more, though. I haven't. Like, there's been like 4 projects, like so many projects. I'm like, no. I'm like, wait, that's no way to live.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that no more. So I don't do that anymore. Now I'm just like very selective on the project. I have to know that there's like a really cool team behind it, in order for me to want to get involved. But let's get into it. So guys, to look for a project, right? This is how I do it. I use social media. I use Twitter. I don't even use Instagram, to be honest. I don't use Instagram. I just use Twitter. I use TikTok, but mostly Twitter. So I'll use hashtags. You want to look up projects, use hashtags like NFT, NFTs, NFT giveaway, NFT community, and there's so many more. And I'll leave them below in the YouTube description so you guys could use those hashtags as well. So I'll use those hashtags. I'll just scroll through projects. If the art is cool, like the art has to capture me first.
It's the connection. That's the first like established like, oh, I really like this. And then that's what brings you to do research.
Now everybody's different. Like me, I like colors and clean lines, and it has to pop. It has to give me a feeling. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what grabs your attention when you actually look at NFTs.
So when I see art that is similar to mine, it makes my eye pop because I'm big on just like color schemes, color theory. I look at things a little bit differently as an artist. So like you said, like thick line work, like I see clean line work. Like if you zoom in on people's line work, like you can know like the quality of the art. You can tell the quality of the person behind it. Depending on the style, of course, too. Like I'm not going to...
I wonder sometimes because I'll look at like, I'll click on the image and it'll blow up. And sometimes it's hazy. Right?
Not crisp.
I'm like, wait, why is that hazy? If it was the resolution was a little better, I would really like this. But that takes away from it. I'm picky.
Yeah, well, it's a quality thing, and also like that's something at Badfroot that like I make sure is that we deliver high quality shit because it's like I want people to feel like, oh, this is awesome, not like, nah, I just got this. Like I want people to brag about having it. So like I try to find stuff that's brag worthy, and so. Me, it's different. So Kristian and I definitely have different methods of doing it. There's no, like I said, there's no wrong way to do it as long as you're doing research. And like what he's doing with like hashtag hunting, that's great for research. That's great. It's overwhelming, but it's great. If you can sit there for a couple hours and filter through, like you'll start to get an eye. Like you're here for like how long have you been, the last 4 weeks you've been going nuts with this, right? Yeah. And like the last 4 weeks, how much just have you grown just in the last 4 weeks?
A
lot more than the last like year total, right?
For sure, absolutely.
Because when you're so saturated in this and you're so involved in this, you start to
see the clues.
Exactly. You see the red flags. It becomes easier. So that's why when I said in the beginning, like you kind of get hazed when you come here because it's like you're probably gonna fuck up. You know, like you're probably gonna spend $100, $200 that you're like, oh fuck, you know, whatever. I do it all the time, and. But
that's why we're bringing this episode to you. We're hoping that we could catch you
right before you do that.
Freaking go buying anything. Yeah. And you can be like, oh, okay, shit. I'm glad I got that fucking education.
Yeah.
You know, but before you go on, because there's other ways, there's other things that come into my process. Because I'll scroll, but now what I do is I'll alert myself. If I like a project, I'll put an alert.
Absolutely.
And I want to see if they're busy.
Huge secret right there. That is a fucking big secret. Is projects you like, turn the fucking alerts on.
Yes.
Turn the alerts on. That's how people would get Skull Kids because they would turn my tweets on or whatever, and then when I'd be like, oh, dropping in 30 seconds because I used to be nuts with stuff like that, they would have the leg up than everybody else that was like, you know, that stop what they're doing, okay, now's my shot. Brilliant. That is honestly that's
key.
That's
if you like if you like an image, if you like their so before you like the image, go to their profile. Now their profile has to be a little descriptive. Okay, there has to be some effort put in there. There has to be links. You have to have a link. They have to have a website.
Must have.
They have a .io. That's more of in the lane of NFT world.
Yeah, it really. You're right. And like I said, like that's Jeff language. Like I don't even know what that means. But when I see .io, I'm like, oh, okay, these guys are probably Web3. These guys are probably
right.
So don't think that's sketchy. Like don't think. But it's so tough because a lot of links with IO can be sketchy.
For sure.
For sure. But mostly like what he's saying is like, go to their Twitter. You can tell if it's not dialed in, and like there's also tools you can use on the internet to verify validity of Twitters. Like so you go to my Twitter and we have almost 6,000 followers. It's like you go on our Twitter and you could go to a website and like plug in the Badfroot at Badfroot. And it'll tell you what portion of our followers are real, what are fake. And we're like 99.9% real. You know, it's like you're going to get fake spam shit, you know.
So where do you find that type of website?
I got to find the website. I'll give it to you so you can link it below. Yes. And it, so like for example, me as a creator, I constantly get like these fucking whale accounts that are like, hey, you need to promote your shit with us. And it's got like 500,000 followers. And at first, when I first was here, I was like, what an opportunity. Right. And then like now that I'm seasoned here and like I see it, I'm like, it's garbage. This is fucking spam, dude. You go, you click, you put it in the websites that expose them, and it's like 50% fake followers. It's like, fuck that. Like, so be vigilant with stuff like that. You know, like vet their Twitter, like scroll, see their engagement is huge. So for example, I remember one time Kristian sent me a project. What do you think about this? I looked at it, it had like 70,000 followers or something like that. And their posts on Twitter were getting 1 or 2 likes, and I was like, something's not right here. Yeah, something's not right. There's no engagement. There's no. And
they didn't have that many posts. How do you have 70,000 people and there's like 3 posts? Right, it didn't make sense. So, that was a red flag for me too.
So that's a lot. Like that's great. I feel like a lot of people do this to begin with, like with people, right? Like we creep on people a lot, right? Like we compare ourselves constantly on social media to people. And like we're always looking at their pictures, their captions, their comments, who's liking their shit, who's following their shit. Do they have more followers than me? Do they have this? It's that same kind of like.
Well, that comes from a marketing mind. That comes from a creator.
I guess, yeah.
Because we want to know what is making people tick.
Where's the connections?
Right. What could how could I make my marketing better? What is this brand doing? That's how I analyze, and that's where my analyzation comes from. Other people's stuff. It's not like more personal. It's more like business.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah. So it's as simple as just like stalking the account a little bit, and never buy right away unless it's a mint and you're confident about the team. Get the mint, but like I'm talking mostly secondary right now because that's where a lot of people are gonna get their stuff. Is because initial mints is like. If you're not doing this full time and you have a 9 to 5, you're going to miss most of them. Right, you're going to miss most of them. Yeah, it's impossible to. There is something new every second popping up. And like that's why Kristian wanted to do this, because it's so important you vet it. Yeah. So I think Twitter, stalking the Twitter is where you start. Most of this is done on Twitter. Socially, a lot of this is done on Twitter. And then a lot of the real work is done in the Discords. Right. So if you can, that's another thing, is use that tool, that little trick to cross-reference, to cross-reference. So like, take me up on what I'm saying. Like you see me posting on Twitter, see me doing all this shit on Twitter. I talk this big game, I'm blah, 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 whatever. Come in my Discord and see if I'm actually see if people even are fucking giving a shit about me. Right. You know, and you do. When you come to my Discord, you see it. You want it. You want to be a part of it. So like that is, if you get that feeling, that it's like, oh yeah, like this is something I want to be a part of. Right. Then yeah, like totally. You know, hop in. I have to sneeze. No, I don't. Yes, I do.
Well, I'm frozen, by the way. This studio is cold.
Really?
Oh, I'm like over here shaking.
It's my sweet new tracksuit keeping me warm. I guess
he's all Cali'd out. He's ready.
Man, this is my airplane. This is my airplane outfit. See, all right. So for those seeing me wearing this has been a childhood dream of mine to have a matching Adidas tracksuit, and I am here. Yeah, applause for me. I am here finally. So
looking fresh, man.
Thanks,
looking
dude.
fresh.
Thanks, dude.
LL Cool Jack. But yeah. So let's get back to it. Twitter. Right?
Right.
Make sure the links are in there. Discord link, even if there's a link tree provides you with all their links. And if there's a link tree, that means there's multiple ways to find out about this project.
You just actually reminded me of something that is so important. So a lot of times projects will mint and they'll have a lot of fucking hype behind them. For example, like the Skull Kids project will probably, you know, when the time comes, a couple weeks, couple months, when we fucking drop the fucking 9,800 pieces, it's like a lot, that you'll have a lot of these spammer, phishing kind of people that know when we're dropping, know we're a hot project.
Beware.
And they'll go and they'll create badfroot.com spelt slightly differently to the average person that doesn't read my instructions and says DYOR, don't click any links outside of this Discord. Someone will come and create badfroot.com, mint right now, minting live, blah, 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 whatever. People go that. They sign their contract over to, in MetaMask, when you open up before you connect to anything, it says, do you approve this message? Do you this contract connects to your wallet? Are you okay with it? You click sign. Don't click sign for everything. You have to click sign for shit that's like real, like that's vetted, that you trust. Because there was this OpenSea breach last week that fucking OpenSea sent out an email. They're migrating, like they were migrating any live listing you had, and OpenSea switched that. They were doing that migration at the same time. Some fucking phishing hackers created an identical email, sent it out to like everybody at Open that has shit like me, everything. I didn't click it, but if you click that link and you sign it in your contract, they drained your wallet. People lost their fucking Bored Apes. Oh my God. It just like, so don't click any links that are not official. That is you can't survive here if you do that.
Don't be a click happy person.
No.
My son did that to me recently. He's like, Dad, click on that. I'm like, son, you don't click like that.
Yeah.
Don't send me stuff and you don't even know what it is.
Because there are like evil Jeff people out there that fucking are so brilliant, so much more technically inclined than like me. And it's like, I don't know what the ones and zeros mean behind this. Like, I don't know. And those ones and zeros, they can, alter the contract to be like, oh, well, you just gave me access to everything in your wallet. And it's the Wild West. There's no laws. There's no anything right now. So that's why it's like Discord links. Stay to official stuff. Do your own research. Right. So important.
Get into the Discord of the project you like. That's before you click anything. You have to go there. Make sure it's an official Discord, not a bullshit Discord.
Yeah.
Something with a lot of interaction, a lot of links, different chat rooms, a lot of things going on in there. But go to the official links tab in the Discord. It says official links. Every official project has an official links tab. You click on there, and then it'll give you a breakdown of their website. And then it goes down the line, their social media accounts, and then you click on all of them. And then you're like, okay, this is starting to line up nice. Then you wait probably for the next AMA. You go inside the Discord, you start talking to the community. Hey guys, I'm new here. Is there an AMA coming up? Now, if there's that's a Ask Me Anything interaction that they do on Twitter, or they even do it inside the Discord.
Yeah, sometimes we like to do it on. A lot of us do it on Twitter because of the discoverability.
Right.
So it's Spaces. That's what they're called, is Spaces, and you just host these AMAs, and normally we do the free PO app because we want to bring people in. We want to see what
right now
that's all about.
That's like a gift.
Proof of attendance. It was just you were here for the AMA. You were here for the space. We want you. It's a collectible. It's like a ticket, basically.
We'll do it probably like a 10-minute short on a PO app soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you guys can understand that. That's a whole nother world.
Oh yeah.
This world is deep, but I'm loving doing this because I just want people.
It's an onion, dude. You keep peeling back the layer, but spaces are fucking huge because then also it's like, here's another secret. Super.
Wait, let's hold that thought. Don't lose it.
No, I'm not. It's with the spaces. It's with the spaces that it's like, if you have a creator that's doxed, that's in spaces, that shows themselves, the team shows their faces, and they get into spaces, and you can hear their voices, connect it to their facial expressions.
Yes.
And like, something that I know that I'm good at is speaking with conviction, because I'm very convicted about everything in my life.
No doubt.
And people hear that. They hear it in the spaces and they go, all right, this guy's fucking real, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking real. He puts his face everywhere. He's willing to put his credibility on the line. He's putting his voice out there. He's putting his face out there. So that's also what to look for in spaces, in stuff outside of the spaces, is like real, tangible stuff, people you can hold accountable.
Absolutely.
Big.
Absolutely.
So that's why spaces are awesome too, because then you're going to also get really good information in there and vibes. You're going to be able to read the situation very well. But don't get me wrong, there are spaces that there are really good con men out there that will just fucking trick you, dude.
I know a few.
Yeah.
They're funny. They put out like AMAs and they talk about this project like it's dope and this and that. They're like, oh, like it's crazy. I listened to one the other day. I was like, oh man, this is people and you look at and you look inside the AMA, right? We talked about this once before. In the AMA, you're gonna see icons, right? Your profile picture. If you see a bunch of profile pictures in there that don't look like legit NFTs as your profile pic, most of the time it's a beginner AMA. A lot of people, newbies, just in there, probably being pulled. Right or wrong?
No, it's true. So it's a lot of people that they'll come in.
I'm frozen.
And you'll get these like really. I'm not that cold. You'll get these like these influencers, right? And like we fucking hate the influencers in the space because they pump projects falsely. It's a pump and dump. Everybody losing money. But so they'll come in. these big accounts, and they'll create spaces. Since they have like the most followers and the most engagement or whatever, they're like the first space that'll come up live. And you get like the average bear that's like, oh, I want to learn. I just want to, I want to digest everything I can right now. So they come into the space, sit down, get garbage bullshit information for an hour and a half, and then they go tell their friends.
Right.
And then they buy into this bullshit project. And then they get rugged. And now their friends see them get rugged. And then they say like, oh, like this was a scam. This is bullshit. And it's like, no, dude, like you weren't following like baseline protocol. Yeah. Like you weren't protecting yourself, you know, like you're not going to go out in a fucking, it's just being prepared. Like I'm not going to show up to work out here without my wraps and gloves. What am I going to do? Hit these bags with my bare knuckles and break my hand? Like, no, you got to come prepared. Yeah. You got to come ready. You can't, it's with everything here. And if you don't, you're going to get taken advantage of. So that's why so Kristian hit me up and was like, dude, I think we got to do this. This just podcast, how to educate people. And I was like, you're so right. You're on the right pulse of that, because there are so many people that desperately want to learn but are terrified. Yeah. They're terrified.
Yep.
And yeah.
And I don't want people to get in and have a bad taste.
Exactly, because then you go and tell everybody, you're like, fuck it,
it's a scam, NFTs suck.
And it's not. It's really not. It's just like everything else where it's like
buying a car. You're gonna get a cheaper price from one guy because he's a little more honest and he cares about humanity, right? He wants the guy to do well. Then you got another guy, he just wants to make as much money as possible. He don't care. And
then they leave the space, they don't give a fuck. And that's why I also say, like, look for doxed projects, people that dox themselves, because they can be held accountable. It's like, I throw my name out there,
right?
Like
with
it's
Skull
nothing.
Kids,
So
he's on. He got the Relentless podcast. He shows his face on it. He's in the AMA. He's talking his shit. He's there. So Skull Kids, it's a legit project. Like I'm gonna invest in the generator project when it drops. I'm gonna buy a bunch of those. I can't wait for that. But so yeah, I definitely invest in his project because I know him. I know he's about it, And the Superlative Apes, I'm in that because the developers and the moderators, they're in there every day.
They seem great. The project seems very healthy. I look from a distance, but it seems very healthy. I'm not big on like derivative projects, but
me neither. But this one just caught my eye.
Some do very well. Some do very, very well.
Yeah.
And something that's also another fucking huge tip is flock towards people that manage your expectations in this space. You're more than likely, I hate to tell you this, you're more than likely, if you're coming here, you're not going to 10x overnight. Not going to happen. And if you did, huge red flag. You don't want that, because what follows is the fucking roller coaster drop. So like me, for example, with Skull Kids, this is a slow burn. This is a 20-year thing for me. This slow burning candle. You're going to buy in, and I don't want the floor to do this. Right. And I don't want people to just fucking make millions, dump the bag, and then the last guy holding the bag loses. I don't fucking want that. Right. What I want is I want to see healthy going up like this. You know what I mean? Like I want to see just manage expectations. So when this drops, I'm going to say everybody like, hey, this is like,
don't sell it.
Hold it. Even if the floor goes under what it minted for, hang on. We're working on stuff, man.
And the only way it goes under what it minted for is when people put it up on the secondary market
to undercut, just to get their money back, because they panic. They panic buy, and then they pump and dump.
That won't happen with you. He has a great community.
We try to filter that shit out. We don't want that shit. We don't want it. We don't want it. Well, I'm not here for the money. That's just
that'll just come with the
amazing. Yeah, it's just the amazing byproduct.
Yeah,
it's like find people that are passionate, speak with conviction, that are held accountable. AMAs, Twitter, Discord, cross-reference. Be a detective. That's your job when you're first coming here. And like I said, there's no wrong answers with projects. It's the team behind the projects that you have to be scared.
I would even like, before you even buy an NFT, go into the Discord, find out who find out who the moderators are, and just talk, hit them up.
Pick their brains.
If they hit you back, and they hit you back a couple days in a row, or maybe a week, you're into this, that more than likely you're not going to get the rug pulled in that position, because they're actually communicating with you. They're not ignoring you. People that the project I'm in now, I know all the moderators. I'm cool with them now. So, and then I also have an opportunity because I'm trying to get people on the podcast.
Right,
so I'm like, hey, I have an in kind of to try to get them to communicate. But you could communicate with them. They hit my son back the other day.
That's also is like time is like, so if you ask a question in a Discord and like, dude, there are Discords where people ask questions and they get banned. what the fuck?
Bye.
There's a difference between being
Peace.
a piece of shit and being toxic and trying to cause issues, cause FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
But like, if you come in and say like, hey, I want to buy, here are some concerns of mine, which is a viable question. Your mods should, within a couple minutes or hours at least, be like, hey, great to hear from you. Yeah. I would love to explain some of those concerns to you. And like, that's another thing is like, look at not only, like the dev team and the people that created the project, but look at the mods. Look at the way that people speak to each other. Like Oppie, for example, like he's our community manager. He's one of the community managers. We have a couple. And like, he's definitely like lead. I would call him my lead community manager because the kid is fucking sweet, dude. And like, he does those spaces on Friday, and that just that's another thing of credibility. We have a totally Relentless is like Jeff and I's like update what we're doing, like we're fucking at it this week, we're blah blah blah, just being an entrepreneur, all this stuff. And then Oppie comes in on Fridays, does his own fucking thing. He came to us with it, and I was like, how great is that? Look, I'm really building a cult here, dude. Like that's really what, and that's what. Join the right cult. Don't join the wrong one. Join the one that is doing fun stuff like that. Like. And that's so big is the moderators and the way that they speak to people. I forgot. I want to say it was BK, one of my mods, months ago. He was trying to get into a project, and he asked a question, and they fucking threw him out of the Discord in 2 seconds. And it was like a big project. It was like fucking. I don't know if you've ever been. Have you been in like a project that's about to mint and it's like hot in the Discord, and it's just like ding ding ding. You can't even keep up. He was like one of those messages. He got banned. They didn't even answer. I was like, dude, huge red flag. Yeah. Huge fucking red flag. I don't know if it was BK. It was someone in my Discord. It was one of my guys that got fucking banned from it. And it just like, good to know. Because now I will steer this ship as far away as I can from that project. No fucking way. Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't blame you, man. You want to be a part of that community. You want to feel welcome. You want to put your money somewhere where you feel welcome, where you feel like, okay.
Safe.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah, and you know that, oh, wait, they're doing this, but they're really doing this because they're really talking about it.
Right, and it's like even outside of like...
And what I mean by doing this, like their next phase in the project. Like you have phases coming up.
Yeah, we have a whole vision. We refuse to do roadmaps because that's another thing is like...
Yes.
Avoid, I'm going to say it. I'm going to fucking say it. Avoid projects that have like set in stone roadmaps because like that's really shitty. If they do that, they're putting themselves in a glass box. I used to do that because that's what we were doing. But then Jeff and I...
seems like to be like the industry standard. Like no.
Fuck that, dude. Because like I change every day. We write new shit every day. So it's like I'm not going to... My community inspires my utility. I'm not going to commit. Right. We'll have milestones, you know. Like we're going to do like shit.
A vision board.
But it's a loose vision because like who knows? What if I decide I want to open a Skull Kids exclusive bar one day or some shit? It's like I didn't put that in the roadmap, but I also don't want to put that in the roadmap because what if it fucking doesn't happen and then I look like an asshole in front of my community because I made promises I couldn't deliver on. So I think roadmaps are kind of a red flag. It's like I know there was a project that it did well. They're okay. I'm not going to rat them out, but they delivered an animated series.
Okay.
And in their roadmap, and people were hyped about it. And the animated series ended up being like this garbage 2-minute thing on YouTube, and people were like,
"What a waste!
What? what do you mean?" And in one of my roadmaps is like I mentioned like in our vision, I guess, is like I would one day like to do an animated series if financially fit, and I will work my hardest to get there.
Right.
Because, dude, millions of dollars goes into that shit. Yeah. You have to cut deals with networks. You have to do. It's not like
right. Cut and dry.
Exactly. So that's another thing is roadmaps can be giant red flags where it's like, look, if the goals are realistic, if they're like, we're going to fucking buy an island, it's like, no, you're not. Like, that's expensive. You didn't make that much. Like, there's really crazy shit out there. Like, I know that was pretty crazy, but like, there's crazy shit out there. NFTs can be an evil cycle because they want people to like, they want to rush that dopamine in your head. Mm-hmm. And like the way they get that dopamine is by like promising you that shit. That like,
we're putting some lollipops in front of you.
Exactly,
candy.
And then before you know it, it's like, oh well, actually, it was we were airdropping a picture of an island, and it's like, fuck, motherfucker, dude. Like you were so not transparent about everything. So
I like when roadmaps when they're transparent, when they're like, okay, look, roadmap version 0.2.
That's what we started. We were doing. Yeah.
Okay, they're making changes. That means that they care. Yes. They're not just keeping it. Oh, we're not going to hit
one
this
and
milestone. We'll move this up. No, they're changing it because they have a different vision now. Okay, because technology changes. The world changes.
Oh my God, projects change. You look at Skull Kids before Jeff and before him and I started collaborating on just creating a business together.
Yeah.
And it was all me. So it was all different. He automated everything, and the whole project, we changed it to Badfroot. It's a completely different beast now.
Right.
And it's like, I would have never seen this beast if it wasn't for the changing of the roadmaps, if it wasn't for the vision. How shitty would that be to my community if I stayed Skull Kids?
Right.
What a fucking disservice.
Right.
I want to do
more. You want to give them more.
Millions of things for Skull Kids. There's so many things I want to do for Skull Kids, I can't even think about it. That's why I'm not giving you guys a roadmap, because I want to do it every fucking day.
Right.
And so
you're a creative. When you're a creative, your ideas change.
So that's why it fucking drives me nuts when I see these projects that they're trying to promise these deliveries, and I'm like, you guys are. It's black or white for these people. There's no gray.
Right.
And it's like when you see black or white, it's like, so when people negotiate in absolutes and ultimatums, it's like, run away from that shit. Toxic relationships, toxic people, you get away from that shit, right? So it's like ultimatums and relationships. So or ultimatum in any relationship, or a black and white in any relationship. You must do or die in any relationship. It's not good. And it's like, when I see that in roadmaps or projects, it's like, well, what happens after you guys do?
Yeah.
Is this done?
Right.
What's next? It's just a Discord of just people and the floor and blah, blah, this stuff. But Badfroot, for example, if you bought in and the floor dipped, I would want the people that had my NFTs to not really give a fuck, because they're like, I'm just kind of happy to be here.
Right.
I'm happy to see Oppie. I'm happy to chat with Jack.
Right.
I'm happy to see what Kristian's doing at the boxing gym, and it's like, that's what you want to create, and not so black and white, that where it's like, all right, even if I lost a couple bucks, it's all right to still be here. Jack's working on shit. I like hearing him, go crazy every Wednesday. I like hearing him do stuff, and it's like, look for that feeling.
Yes.
Don't look for the false dopamine that they pump in your head that makes you you get fear of missing out, and you need to, I'm gonna dump my fucking life savings into. Slow and steady wins this race, my friend. And doing research will just fucking is imperative.
Engaging in the Discord. Stick around there for a little bit. Hang out. Don't buy right away.
You mentioned you look at TikToks.
So TikTok is another tool that I use. I just type in, NFT Project. NFT.
The hashtag. You type in the hashtag. I don't utilize hashtags. Maybe I got to start doing that more.
Yeah,
maybe I got to start doing it more.
Because you see maybe me. I'm an excited NFT guy. I'll do a TikTok. I did one on Invisible Friends the other day.
Okay.
So I went on TikTok and I said, hey guys, listen.
Nervous for that project. Very nervous.
The art is dope.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
But when the hype is that big, that ride down is horrible.
Right. So that's what happened with Invisible Friends. So,
it did happen?
No, I don't know where it dropped to, but I know after the mint.
Pre-reveal was 10 ETH, dude.
Right. 10
Insane.
ETH. So you bought it for less than, I think it was 0.08 or something like that was the minting price. And then the secondary on OpenSea, they were dropping them for 10 ETH.
Yeah.
10 ETH. So that was definitely a hyped up project. I have to do more research and to see.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I've been following them for a while because they've had a lot of hype over the last couple months.
But I dropped that video, I don't know if it was before the mint, because I wanted to bring awareness. So you never know. There might be somebody on TikTok that, like myself, well, hey guys, look, there's something that's about to mint. I did my own research to the point where I knew it was a legit project. In a sense of,
it's legit.
Right.
It's legit. The project's legit, but I just get concerned with inflating floors like that because
how about the community? If the community's dope, then
community's dope.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure about the community, but I just know the art was just crazy, and I was like, you know what, people might like it.
Yeah, the art is so cool. The
they
animation
do their own research at that point.
Check it out. That's actually big projects like Apes, Invisible Friends, Cool Cats. Those are great places to start because that's what. Actually, I don't know about Invisible Friends, but I know that I know that there's a reason there's hype there. I know that there's a good team behind it, and I know. It's certainly a blue chip, but I think that
the time will tell. We have to.
Time will tell, but
watch that one.
A great place to start is the Ape Discord, the Cool Cats Discord.
Cool Cats for sure. Shout out to the Cool Cats.
Yeah, they're great.
Klon's the man.
Yeah, great project, and it's vet those. See how they operate, and then try to template that with.
Yeah. Everything else you follow. There's more to it, though. There's more to it. So, like, when you guys also, you want to buy an NFT, correct? You want to go to, like, Rarity Tools, okay? Now, this is on the secondary market, not on the mint. So, if you miss a mint and you want to get it on the secondary market, NFTs are put out there in a, how do you say it, a ranking system or?
Like rarity, yeah, like that there's certain traits are rarer than others.
Right.
So it's like, you know, like the golden fur ape. Fuck.
Right.
You know, whatever a guy has that is sitting on a fucking nice retirement right there. And it's like, you want to find the rare one. So that's actually plus and minus to minting and buying on secondary. So
Right.
like when you mint, it's like the lotto. Like
Yeah,
you can win. It's a random generation of the art. So like you can pull the fucking rarest of most rare.
Yeah.
Or you could pull the not rare of most rare and whatever. But then once it's revealed or once you get it on secondary, then you can pick which one you want. It's going to be a little bit more expensive depending on the floor, but
Sometimes
then you can
it's worth
pick.
it. Sometimes it's worth it to wait for the mint to go through.
Yeah,
and get
that's
them on
what
the
I
secondary.
do because I'm not going to drive myself nuts with whitelist and like plus I have a couple bucks, so like
Why
if
not? No,
it's reasonable, if it's
Right.
reasonable and I like it and I vet it and I'm like, all right, whatever.
I'll pick this
Yeah,
one.
I'll pick and I'll buy a little bit above the floor, not the floor, but
Right.
a little bit above the floor.
Right.
Something
Well,
point.
that's what I'm getting to. So you go to like Rarity Tools. You find the project you like. You're like, all right, I'm about to buy it. Don't buy it on OpenSea right away. Go to Rarity Tools or one of those ranking system websites that I'll have below. You guys can check them out. You go in there and you type in buy now, right? And then you're gonna go to Rarity. Click Rarity. Okay, Rarity will give you the rare. No, you don't even buy. I'm sorry. You go buy now, and you go low to high. And in the ranking system, you'll see like on the top row, it'll say rank number 5,000, rank number 4,000, rank number 2. You might find a gem on the low end because somebody didn't realize how rare it was.
Yep.
And you could click that, it'll take you to OpenSea, and then you could buy it at a lower cost than you would if you were just buying it on OpenSea, not knowing how rare it was.
Yeah, and that's a very important tool is to just
Try if you care
doing
about
your
rarity.
research. That's doing your research right
Yep.
there. That's doing your fucking research.
So-
I before I forget, great project right now, similar to Badfroot. We became great friends. Crypto Stacy's, I told you about. I put you on Honeys. So her story is phenomenal. Love her. She's been a great friend of mine. We created projects at the same time last year, and we had similar art styles. And we were one of one artist, which is it's not a generative. It's like it's a piece of art. So like a couple of us in the community, like Shackers, Crypto Stacy's, Crypto Pervs, me, Blue Draws. I'm missing a bunch. Diablo Dots. There's a bunch of one artists that are just like hard hitters there. Like Ghosts, we've just carved a little bit of the space. So Crypto Stacy's, she created a generative project after her one of one, and she's a female driven project, which is huge right now. It's like people want that. They want to empower women in the space. So Crypto Stacy's dropped this project called Honeys, and they're these like sexy cartoon ladies.
Dope
and like
art.
sick art. She's a phenomenal artist. But what happened is before her project dropped, something happened. I don't know exactly what it was, but something that was totally out of her control because she's fucking rad. And then the project sat. It didn't sell out. And like I collabed with her. We did stuff together. But the project didn't sell out, which is fine. That's almost like a great thing. So what happens is a couple months go by. She is working her ass off. She's still working. She's still pumping it out, building a community brick by brick, slowly and surely. And then what happens is there was this thread about women projects, and there was this project that was claiming to be like the first women project ever dropped. And meanwhile, it's probably some like sweaty Russian guy behind it that like isn't doxxed. Stacy's is doxxed.
Right.
Like she shows her face. She talks all the time. She created, I'm gonna send this to Stacy. She's went after this, but she created this timeline like savage, bro. She created this timeline and like timestamps of when the projects dropped.
Yeah.
Turns out Honeys was like the first like woman project or something like that, and the thread went fucking viral. The project sold out like this.
Smart.
The floor is still reasonable to get in.
Yeah.
Fucking get in before it goes. Like it is. She is there. She is there every day. She shows her fucking face. She's
and the art is hot.
It's hot. It's hot. It's absolutely hot.
I'm seeing a lot more of it lately.
Those
too.
are the people that are like that's like Badfroot-ish people. Like those communities are gonna be similar to like real, organic, like real people that give a shit, that don't care about whatever. So I'm putting you all onto it right now. Check out fucking Honeys at Crypto Stacy's on.
I'll put it below too.
Twitter. Yeah, Honeys is the floor is very reasonable. I don't know what it's at right now. Last I checked, it was like 0.06, but it's fluctuating a lot because like a lot of people are.
There's a lot of activity going on.
A lot of activity, and that's another thing is like so. Don't necessarily like judge a project based on its like floor price. Judge it.
Yeah.
The community,
potential.
The activity, the potential, like, because that's also something that you want to do. You want to strike out too. You don't want to just fucking be scared of everything. It's like you want to take a risk sometimes. You know, it's like you want to strike out. Like, and my next bet would probably be Honeys. That it's just because she's real. She's real. She streams on Twitch. She makes sure to hi, how are you? How are you doing? I great to have you here. She calls people cupcakes. It's great. She makes you feel valuable. Like I love her. I love her.
That's what's
up.
up.
And I just for newbies out there, great project to get started in. Great project, safe bet, safe floor. You get in, say Badfroot fucking sent you. She'll probably hook you up if Badfroot sent you. No doubt. And like you just get there, cozy up in that Discord.
And you'll learn a lot.
And because she's pumping right now.
Yeah.
Pumping. And deserves every last bit of it. And what's great is that she didn't sell out for months.
Right.
But she showed up every fucking day.
And she pushed her product.
And she pushed. She rewired utility until it fucking worked.
Yep.
She fucking went out there. And that is the creator that I want to follow.
Absolutely.
That's the team that I want to follow. That even when they didn't sell out, that they still fucking showed up every day. And they said, I don't care. This isn't about money. This is about me creating my vision and it coming to fruition. And you fucking manifested that, Stacy's like, good for fucking you.
That's what's up, Stacy. I'm gonna get.
That's not even her name. I think your name's Jess. That's how I don't even. We haven't even.
Well, Stacy sounds cool. Crypto Stacy sounds cool.
I think it's Stacy's is her mom or something. I think like her mom's in the Discord. I think like they're just like
cool.
They're awesome. It's just a very tight knit vibe that grew to that. Huge thing. So it's like, you know, same thing's probably gonna happen with Skull Kids, where it like goes from that family to like, oh my god, like there's so many people here now. Honeys.
And the same thing's gonna happen with NFT Champs too.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
We're building a community here too. Discord's on the bottom, but it's Crypto Stacy. I'm gonna get one because he's very convicted about this, and I love the art.
I've been on it. You know, my community, we love her. You know, we're friends with her. Jeff is tight with her. Jeff has an episode with her. On his YouTube channel, he's got a whole hour-long thing that just talks about her story.
Cool, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I love the production too on their podcast, Relentless. It's a dope.
Oh, Jeff's the man, dude. He's so good with
Jeff's
stuff like
super
that.
cool, man. Shout out to Jeff. He's answered a couple questions lately for me. I appreciate you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's the man, dude. Jeff is great. But Jeff was it's so sick. So Jeff actually was like the conduit piece for he was so passionate about like. He saw my passion. He saw Crypto Stacy's passion. He saw Shacker's passion. He saw all these 1-1 artists that like really loved what they did and wasn't like disingenuous. And he became this conduit point for all of us. Like he created this level playing ground where he said like, hey, wait a sec. I think if we can connect and intertwine all of these projects in a way that it's just like we're represented by each other, like how I just rep Stacy's, I know she would rep me,
no doubt,
because like that's like our little tight knit. We have group chats that people don't know about. That it's like the 1-1 artists that like we get together and we talk about. And Jeff was the conduit that started doing that show, and like he's that man is onto something big because he's connecting all the dots for great people.
No doubt.
And he's the tech guy that does it. He's the guy that like a lot of us don't know. We just want to draw. And he's the guy that's like, wait, I have ideas for all of you. And genuine. And like he's genuine people will find genuine people seek genuine people, right? And genuine people find genuine people. And like that's why him and I fucking immediately hit off, because it was like just electric. So that's what it's like with Jeff. That's what it's like with Stacy's. That's what it's like with Shacker. So then also, that being said, when you're in those veins of those projects, you're gonna find good people. You're gonna slowly start to exit out of this toxic. It's a bloodbath getting involved in NFTs. It's a fucking bloodbath.
That's why we're here, man.
The first project I bought into was called Appymon, and it fucking wet the bed. It was like the metadata got hacked. Some guy hacked and saw what egg was going to have what rare, and they posted it on a Google spreadsheet. And I think they posted it just to say, like, hey, like, this project fucking sucks. Like, this, look at how easily I was able to do this. And like, that was my first project. I lost like $300, and I remember it was when I couldn't lose $300, and I was like,
that sucks.
Oh my God, like, this place is fucking ruthless.
I started off super small, man. I bought a Kourtney Kardashian NFT. It was like,
you said
it was
that.
like 20 cents.
Yeah.
It was super cheap. So I was like, let me dabble here.
And another thing is like gas fees. Like, you're gonna have to pay a gas fee on top of that, where it's like that's standard, and it sucks because you're at the mercy of gas. And like,
the best time though is like late at night.
Yeah, early in the morning, late at night when everyone's asleep, and it's like, you're gonna have, dude. Sometimes gas. I paid like, I think it was like $5,000 in gas for my ape.
Wow. Well,
it's like a third of the fucking price.
It was an ape though, you know.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. But that's, so you'll pay gas. So I would almost think like a good place to kind of start if you don't have a lot of money.
I have a good place. Go ahead. You go give your place.
I was gonna say kind of like, you're not gonna make a lot of money here,
right?
But Polygon, because it's like there's no gas fee. Everything's like $10-20. It's piss cheap. It's like it'll just learn. You'll learn the ecosystem. There's great stuff.
And they move too.
They do. Just definitely not as much as Ethereum. It's just way cheaper because there's no gas fees. It's not. It's like.
Right.
But what I think is, it's probably a great place to. A lot of people knock it. So like, don't tell people you're doing it. But like, if you're gonna do it, like. You don't have a lot of money to spend. I get it. It's fucking expensive. It's crazy, this shit. And it's like, if you dab a little bit with Polygon, you know, just play with it a little bit. See, because then you'll learn the ecosystem of NFTs and how it works. Wallet transferring, your wallet address, how to send it to somebody, how to send it, how to, you know, just what to sign, what websites to do. Like, test the waters. Test the waters. And NFTs aren't going anywhere. So like, don't FOMO. Don't think like, fuck, I gotta buy something now because the world's gonna end and I need to fucking get it. It's like, there's gonna be another project. There's gonna be, I don't know if there'll ever be another like Bored Ape Yacht Club, but like, there's gonna be something like it.
Right.
There's always gonna be something like
it.
Every like 700 projects, there's gonna be one diamond in the rough.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff coming out though. Like a lot of really interesting art.
And you know what that is, dude, is because the space has evolved so much over this last year that people are learning what not to do. So it's also every day that goes by, it's getting safer.
And there's a lot more creators getting involved in this space that are really legit and awesome. And aside from like generative, and aside from, you know, just art in itself, photography. And if you're into images and photography, that's huge. Shout out to Drifter Shoots. He's one of my favorite photographers that has an amazing project. He actually scales the highest buildings in the world.
What, like climbs them?
He's sick, dude.
Not for me.
Like I'm inspired.
Sicko, dude.
I want to do it. I want to go up to the top of these buildings, and I want to do it too. I even hit him up.
I'm thinking like
Literally,
Spider-Man scales them like
no. He'll go, you know, through the building. Right?
Oh, I'll do that.
But no,
I don't know why I was thinking that.
But no, he'll get to the top of the building, and there's actually a scaffold that takes you even higher. He'll literally climb that like Spider-Man.
No way, dude.
He'll take his project is called Where is my Vans, or Where Are My Vans? Right? He takes a picture of his Vans up high above.
Cool.
But dope photography. Shout out to Drifter Shoots. You're coming on the show, Drift. I told you already you're gonna come on. I'm gonna get him on here. But check him out too. Check out all his stuff though is like $130,000 per picture.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of photography. And a lot of photography does well on like Foundation rather than like OpenSea.
Yeah.
Because like Foundation it's a little bit more expensive, different clientele. It's
Right.
like it's more
Artsy.
artsy. Yeah,
Right.
not so much profile
Like Hamptons
picture.
putting it on your wall.
That you just nailed the hammer on the head. So
I get it.
one of my great friends, he's also a mod in the Discord. He's actually in Germany right now. Paul. He's a photographer,
Right.
and he does like a lot of surrealism and a lot of like crazy different work, and he does pretty well. He does okay for himself, and like photography is a huge untapped thing. I also
Yes.
think videography, poems, any form of creativity, you can fucking express here, baby. You can do the world is literally your oyster in the NFT land, and it's like you can, bro.
Yeah.
Illustrate it. It's just being represented through profile pics right now. I wonder what it looks like 20 years from now.
Yeah. No, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, for sure. Like it ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere.
That's the great thing about it. It's not going anywhere. So let's educate yourself, get involved, make some money, or collect some stuff that you feel proud about.
Right, and you also never know. So I bought a project in the beginning of this year called Super Yeti, and it was like one of the first big fucking rugs.
Yeah.
And like it was like everyone was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you kidding me?" Like shit on this project. The guy was really funny about it because he was like, he was just tweeting really funny stuff. So I liked that like he was being relatable. He was like, "Oh fuck, like that happened. Like my bad. Like like I'm learning. Like kind of stuff like that, right?" And he was like super transparent. I bought it, didn't look at it in 10 months.
Right.
Last month, the floor starts shooting up again. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And like,
you never
the
know.
project's back.
Right.
They rewired, and it like goes to show that it was like he may have fucked up right away. And also, people's expectations are crazy. They probably wanted it to fucking shoot, and it didn't. And then they're like, it's a rug. It's not a rug.
Right.
It's not a rug.
It didn't move as fast as you wanted to.
Let it take its time.
Right.
Sometimes, what is it? IRAs take what? How many years to mature?
Yeah,
fucking 20, 40 years to, I don't even know. It's like, or whatever you're investing in is like, don't expect, if you want to play the lottery, go to fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
That's my advice to you. For the motherfuckers out there that are looking at 10X overnight, go gamble your fucking cash at Vegas. Don't gamble it here.
Talking about that project you're talking about though right now, how months later, or years later, whatever it was, it came up.
Shot up. The floor's like 0.2 now. I was like, what the hell? Like it wasn't, I bought it at 0.06 or whatever the mint price was.
Right.
But that's still huge money. That's fucking.
There's another project though called the Dojis, right? Mm-hmm. There's a 13-year-old kid who learned how to code everything, right?
Oh, smart. These kids, man.
But this is over a year ago, before Bored Apes did their generative 10,000 or whatever 8,000 they did. He did a generative dojis before them, so he was like one of the original generative projects. He was 13 years old when he learned how to code. He was 16 when he dropped the project. It didn't do nothing much. Last week it exploded.
Yeah, dude.
Exploded because people realized, oh, what? This is the first generative project from a 16-year-old.
Correct.
Before Bored Apes. Now, people, I don't know who discovered it, but they discovered it, put it out there on Twitter,
put it
and
on,
people
and then
started buying it.
Yeah.
So projects like that, there's some hidden gems out there that you could probably still find.
I almost will say like those are the projects that like you wanna fucking buy. Like
it's like the Atari or the Nintendo from the 80s that you want to grab because it's the original.
Right. And but same thing with like honeys is like you want that like organic and that natural come up. Like you don't want to pump and dump. Like I would be more inclined to invest in that kid's project than I would some fucking hype beast project that you have to grind 10 hours whitelisting in a fucking Discord for. I want to support that kid because a year later he's still relevant. At first he wasn't relevant at all. So that means over a year he's been trying to figure out something. Right eyes got on it. That's kind of what happened with Skull Kids. That's another very important thing for projects is like the right eyes have to land on it.
Yeah.
It's luck too. It's fucking shooting the dice, dude. It's like
you get people like myself that like a project. I push people's projects.
Absolutely.
I tweet his project. I tweet the projects I like and I'm into it. And then you're gonna get freaking 10,000 people like that. That makes a project
Dude,
grow.
you created. It's funny. I think he actually created FOMO for Skull Kids because what happened was one of his guys, Mad Cat. Shout out Mad Cat. He like swept the floor.
Yeah.
And then everyone delisted their Skull Kids because they knew what was happening. We're at like a 1/8 floor right now for Skull Kids. Like
bro.
he bought in at the last that he showed that it was like, all right, here's a little leap of faith. It's a little expensive, 0.3, 0.3, 0.5, but spent a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
Boom! Right away, the floor went up because of the FOMO.
That's
people are like, "Oh fuck, I don't want to." I'm not.
I'm not
that's what they're selling at. I'm not selling it that low.
Right.
So that's, dude. There's just
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer. Like that's where we started. Is that there's no wrong answer. It's just a matter of DYOR.
Yep. Do your own research, guys. You know, try to take some of the tools we taught you today, we told you today, and dive in a little bit and get your feet wet. If you have any questions, go on our Discords, and we'll try our best to help you, guide you. But don't click nothing. Don't click nothing unless you know that you're certain that you're doing the right thing. Okay,
and
guys?
Hey, also no shame.
Yeah.
In coming into like my Discord even and tagging any of the mods, tagging anybody and being like, hey, what do you guys think about this link? I've said that. I say it. I said it actually last night. I had to sign the Wyvern contract for OpenSea to like put a listing up. And because they did such sketchy shit last week, I texted Jeff. I was like,
do I do this?
Dude, is this okay? Am I okay to do this? Like, is this safe? He's like, yeah, you're, do your own homework, but yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And it's like, always do your own homework. Do your own research. So, but no shame in asking. No shame in asking.
And if somebody
better to ask than to lose $100,000.
If somebody shoots you down, go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Because
there's gonna be people out there that are gonna help you out, man. So that's it, Jack. Thanks so much for coming in. Of
course, man.
Another great episode. More knowledge for you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the other episodes we did. What else? Chime in. Leave some suggestions, some questions. Interact with us.
Projects. What if they find the project, drop it in the YouTube comments, and we'll try to vet it. Like, I don't know. We'll try to figure out what's up. Hop in the Discord. Ask ask questions. Yeah. Ask questions.
And get into their podcast, The Relentless. Okay, and also their Friday night 9:00. They do another one. What is it called?
Fruit
Friends, and awesome people in there talking NFTs, talking crypto. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We love you. Subscribe, like, share. See you guys soon.
Thank you all.
Peace.